Hello fellas, hope you're doing great. In this second video of Bootstrap 4 series, I'm gonna talk about buttons, how to create them, how to change the colors, and then how to change the size of those buttons, how to create button groups and other button stuffs. If you don't know what Bootstrap is, I suggest you to watch my previous video where I talked about what is Bootstrap, how to link Bootstrap to your HTML, and how it really works. So yeah, let's jump into our today's topic. On Bootstrap you can create buttons using the button tag and using the anchor tag and also using the input tag. So yeah, let's try creating some button using these tags. At first let's create a button with the button tag. So create a button tag first, give it some Bootstrap classes like btn and then btn primary. This primary one is kind of a blue button, name it as button tag. Save it and preview it on your browser. So here you're gonna get a button, blue button. We created this button using the button tag, and then let's try creating a button with using the anchor tag. Give those same Bootstrap classes like btn and btn primary. Name it as anchor tag. Save it and preview it on your browser. Now you're gonna get another button, but this time this one is using anchor tag. So now let's try creating a button using the input tag. Create a input tag and give those same classes like btn and btn primary. Give it a value, input tag. Now save it and preview it on your browser. You're gonna get another button, but this time we used input tag to create this button. So that's how we create buttons on Bootstrap. We can even change the color of these buttons by changing some Bootstrap classes. At first let's create some buttons. I'm going to create some buttons using the button tag. So here is the button tag. Give it some Bootstrap classes like btn primary. As I said before, the primary one is kind of a blue button. Name it as primary. Copy the whole button section, whole button tag, and paste as much as you can. Pasting, and the last one. Okay, so save it and preview it on your browser. You're gonna get a lot of blue buttons. These are the primary buttons. So to change the color of these buttons, all you're gonna have to do is just delete this primary and give some other classes like danger. The danger one is a kind of a red button. Danger. See, yeah, as you can see, the danger one is a red button. And then instead of primary, type here warning, which is kind of a blue button. Warning, which is kind of a yellow button. And then info, sky blue button. And then success, a green button. Success. And then a dark button, a black button, a light button. And you can even create a link button, like paste it and give it the link class. Yeah, save it and preview it on your browser. Here you're gonna get a lot of different kind of buttons, like this one is a primary button, a blue one, the danger button, warning button, info button, success button, dark button, light button, and a link button. So that's how we change the color of the Bootstrap buttons. You can change the size of your buttons by adding these Bootstrap classes inside your button tag or whatever tag used to create a button. So let's see how they actually work. Here, as you can see, I've already created a button This one is a default size button. Yeah, as you can see, this one is a default size button. So let's try creating some a large button, a medium button, and a small button. So I'm copying this text, copying this line, and pasting. So here I'm gonna add some Bootstrap classes like btn lg. lg stands for large, so it's gonna be a large button. Save it and preview it on your browser. Here you're gonna get a large button, and then add in this button, add a btn class, btn md, medium button, medium, and then here btn sm, a small button. Save it and preview it on your browser. So as you can see, we just created a large button, a medium button, and a small button. So that's how we change the size of buttons in Bootstrap. So now let's try creating some outline buttons. At first, let's create a button with the button tag, and then give it some Bootstrap classes like btn, and then for that outline button, give it a class like btn outline primary, closing tag, and then name it as outline. Save it and preview it on your browser. Here you're gonna get an outline button. You can even change the color of these outline buttons. Copy the whole button tag and then paste it. Then here, instead of the primary, just add those color changing classes like danger, red button, and then the warning, yellow button, and then the info, dark, and the secondary. Save it and preview it on your browser. As you can see, we just created a lot of outline buttons, and that's how we change the color of them. So now to create a button group, you're gonna have to create a div tag first. So create a div tag first, and then give it a class of btn group, and inside this div tag we're gonna put all of our buttons. So let's create some buttons first. Button, and give it a classes of btn and btn primary. Name it as left. Copy the whole button tag and paste it, and save it and preview it on your browser. So here you're gonna get a button group. As you can see, this one is a left button, a middle button, and a right button. Change the name them as middle and right. So now as you can see, this one is a left button, a middle button, and a right button. You can create a vertical button group. Just add some text like after this btn group, add a text like vertical. Save it and preview it on your browser. As you can see, this one is a vertical button group. You can even change the size of the button group, btn group, and lg, large button. As you can see, a large button. And you can even create a small button group by adding the sm class. Here is a small button group. You can even create a pagination using the button group. Copy the whole section, paste it, and here let me create a pagination. Four, and yeah. So yeah, as you can see, now you know how to create cool buttons without doing a lot of CSS stuffs. But if you still want to change the style of these buttons, don't worry, CSS is always there for you. So that was it for today. I'm planning to create some fun stuffs or fun videos on this coding topic maybe. So stay in touch. See you in the next video maybe. Sayonara.